Dozens of voices overlapped in chaos, until hers broke through, calm and certain, freezing everyone in place. For 18 months at Central Command's communications hub in Norfolk, shift supervisors had watched civilian contractor Sarah Echo Martinez maintain routine radio monitoring duties during the most critical intelligence operations in military communications. Assuming her methodical approach to signal processing reflected standard contractor competence rather than recognizing the battlefield-tested expertise of someone who had coordinated air support for 7 simultaneous combat zones while under direct enemy fire, directing close air support missions that saved hundreds of lives during the worst firefight in Afghanistan's Helmand province, when insurgent forces had surrounded 3 isolated Marine units requiring immediate tactical coordination across multiple radio frequencies under intense mortar bombardment. What they couldn't see beneath her contractor identification badge and civilian clothing was a distinctive communication scar pattern across her left ear, marking where shrapnel had damaged her hearing during the Battle of Marjah when her forward operating base's communication bunker took direct rocket fire while she maintained radio contact with extraction helicopters, coordinating rescue operations for wounded Marines through damaged equipment and partial hearing loss that forced her to rely on tactical communication skills learned through years of combat deployment, where radio discipline meant the difference between successful mission completion and catastrophic unit casualties. Welcome to Silent Salute, where we reveal how America's most elite communication specialists sometimes transition to contractor roles while carrying invisible reminders of battlefield coordination operations. Their extraordinary tactical expertise, hidden beneath routine monitoring duties, while their combat-tested knowledge remains dormant until recognition moments that transform entire command centers and remind everyone that heroes continue serving in unexpected ways. Before we share this incredible story of hidden communication mastery that shocked the entire military intelligence community when a single crisis moment revealed years of classified coordination experience, tell us in the comments about a time when you discovered someone's military background that completely changed your understanding of their capabilities and the operations they survived overseas. And if you believe that our most experienced operators often work without recognition while processing traumatic memories through activities that help maintain connection to military service and honor fallen comrades, hit that subscribe button to support our mission of celebrating those whose classified courage continues protecting freedom through civilian service that transcends uniform requirements and reminds us that warrior spirit never truly fades. The Central Command Communications Facility operated as the most sophisticated military intelligence hub in the world, where classified operations required continuous monitoring of global communication networks that connected battlefield commanders with strategic decision-makers, supported by civilian contractors whose specialized knowledge enabled operational effectiveness through signal processing, equipment maintenance, and emergency coordination during exercises that tested every aspect of military communication under combat stress conditions. The monitoring operations themselves represented the nerve center where potential threats were identified through radio intercepts and communication pattern analysis that enabled rapid response to developing situations worldwide, while civilian support staff provided essential technical services that maintained operational readiness and signal clarity during exercises that demanded perfect coordination between multiple command levels and battlefield units operating in hostile environments. Communication Operations Chief Master Sergeant Thomas Tower Rodriguez managed radio monitoring with military precision that ensured intelligence standards met the demanding requirements of global command operations, where performance under extreme communication stress determined effectiveness during classified missions where radio coordination meant survival for deployed units facing enemy contact in remote theaters worldwide. Rodriguez possessed extensive combat communication experience, including multiple deployment cycles and advanced signal training, providing him with operational expertise and tactical conditioning that enabled him to recognize exceptional radio skills while identifying personnel whose stress management suggested combat experience that exceeded normal civilian contractor backgrounds and preparation for military facility communication work. The contractor technical team included former military personnel whose specialized knowledge enhanced operational effectiveness, while civilian employees provided equipment and emergency support that enabled military operators to focus on mission coordination rather than facility management and technical maintenance that required dedicated attention to detail and professional competence during life-threatening communication environments. Daily command operations included continuous signal monitoring, encrypted communication processing, and tactical coordination tests designed to identify system capabilities with mental resilience required for combat missions. From basic radio protocols to advanced battlefield coordination networks whose deployment success demanded communication excellence that exceeded normal military training and prepared operators for classified scenarios where radio superiority provided tactical advantage. Martinez, you've been managing signal processing for months with attention that exceeds contractor requirements and suggests familiarity with combat communication operations, Master Sergeant Rodriguez observed during routine technical briefing, his operational curiosity finally overcoming military restraint. Your approach to radio emergencies and frequency management indicate background with high-stress battlefield operations that goes beyond civilian contractor training. Have you considered positions that would better utilize whatever experience prepared you for this level of competence around life-threatening communication environments and tactical coordination scenarios? Martinez continued her systematic monitoring routine with precision learned during actual combat operations where equipment failure meant death for isolated units, depending on radio coordination expertise. Understanding that proper communication preparation enabled effectiveness during extreme situations where mental breakdown could compromise mission success and endanger lives of fellow operators who trusted tactical competence under life-threatening battlefield conditions. Her signal management reflected military training that emphasized systematic procedures, psychological resilience, and mental comfort with extreme communication situations that enabled her to work efficiently while maintaining operational standards that protected mission effectiveness and unit coordination during intensive exercises that pushed communication capabilities beyond normal operational limits in dangerous combat conditions. Master Sergeant, effective communication monitoring ensures operational success and tactical readiness that enables mission coordination and command preparation. Martinez replied carefully, her response revealing nothing about classified experience while acknowledging his professional observation. These monitoring procedures support operational effectiveness and mission welfare that require attention to detail and systematic approach that sustains facility standards and protects personnel during intensive tactical communication testing. Communication Systems Supervisor Senior Master Sergeant David Frequency, Chun, whose responsibility for contractor performance included evaluating technical competence and identifying employees whose capabilities might be underutilized, had begun questioning Martinez's apparent overqualification for monitoring duties that seemed inconsistent with her obvious communication expertise and professional bearing around extreme tactical coordination scenarios. Chun possessed operational knowledge about contractor backgrounds and qualifications that enabled him to identify unusual patterns in job performance, making Martinez's situation particularly puzzling because her radio skills and military bearing suggested experience that exceeded her current position requirements and might warrant promotion to advanced responsibilities involving direct mission coordination and operational support. Martinez, your communication awareness and signal management procedures suggest background that exceeds typical contractor preparation for command facility work, Chun observed during performance evaluation meeting, his operational curiosity reflecting genuine interest in appropriate job placement. Most contractors require extensive orientation to understand tactical communication techniques and mission coordination protocols, but you immediately adapted to procedures that require radio expertise and comfort with life-threatening situations that suggest specialized background or training that might be better utilized in advanced positions. Martinez's response reflected understanding gained from military service while maintaining privacy about classified experience that she wasn't ready to discuss with supervisors who couldn't fully comprehend the psychological challenges that accompanied transition from combat operations to contractor employment in military environment where radio exposure triggered traumatic memories requiring continued private management. Her careful balance between acknowledging professional competence and protecting personal privacy required diplomatic responses that satisfied administrative curiosity without revealing classified background that might complicate her employment status or trigger unwanted attention to medical issues that required ongoing treatment through specialized trauma counseling designed for classified operation survivors. Senior Master Sergeant. Effective signal management requires understanding of communication techniques and mission coordination procedures that enable command operations and tactical development. Martinez responded diplomatically, maintaining professionalism while protecting privacy. Radio competence develops through attention to detail and systematic approach that ensures mission effectiveness and operational coordination during operations that require professional handling of life-threatening situations and extreme communication environments. The curiosity intensified when facility staff noticed Martinez's apparent familiarity with advanced communication techniques and tactical assessment methods that exceeded normal contractor training, leading to speculation about her background and previous experience that might explain her exceptional radio expertise and comfortable handling of extreme coordination situations that required specialized knowledge typically possessed only by personnel with extensive combat experience. Her comfort with various communication scenarios particularly attracted attention because she demonstrated familiarity with techniques that most contractors never encountered, including battlefield radio methods, emergency coordination techniques, and mental resilience approaches that required technical knowledge typically possessed only by personnel with extensive combat experience or specialized training backgrounds in hostile communication environments. Signal Processing Specialist Master Sergeant Lisa Clear Martinez, whose own operational experience included deployment as combat radio operator and communication training instructor, organized informal observations designed to assess whether Sarah's apparent expertise represented actual combat experience or exceptional civilian training that had developed extraordinary communication competence with extreme coordination situations. Lisa possessed technical expertise and operational background that enabled her to recognize advanced communication skills, having worked with combat personnel and military contractors whose backgrounds included classified experience that exceeded normal training requirements and suggested specialized service in hostile communication environments during classified missions. Sarah, your handling of communication situations and radio expertise suggests specialized training that exceeds contractor preparation and indicates background in combat operations or tactical coordination, Lisa observed during mission evaluation session, her operational experience enabling her to recognize capabilities that suggested combat training or specialized communication background. If your experience includes combat service or specialized training, you should understand signal systems that prepare contractors for working with advanced radio techniques and mental resilience methods that require technical expertise. Sarah recognized the questioning as professional interest from fellow veteran rather than casual curiosity, understanding that combat personnel developed bonds based on shared operational experience while maintaining natural interest in backgrounds that couldn't be verified through normal administrative channels or personnel records that might not fully document contractor qualifications for classified positions. Her response required careful consideration of privacy needs balanced against professional respect for fellow veteran whose technical competence and operational experience deserved acknowledgement without revealing details about medical retirement and traumatic coordination experiences that required continued psychological processing through specialized therapy designed for classified trauma survivors. Lisa, signal systems require technical understanding and systematic management that ensures operational effectiveness and mission coordination that protect personnel during command operations, Sarah replied respectfully, her combat background enabling her to provide technical response without revealing classified service details. These capabilities develop through consistent attention to detail and understanding of communication requirements that maintain facility standards and operational effectiveness during extreme coordination scenarios. The workplace speculation escalated when military operators began discussing Sarah's apparent overqualification for monitoring duties, leading to conversations about her motivations for accepting contractor work that seemed beneath her obvious communication competence and coordination expertise that suggested combat or tactical communication background that warranted advanced responsibilities involving direct mission coordination. These discussions occurred during informal gatherings after operational shifts, when military personnel shared experiences and discussed facility operations, creating an environment where Sarah's privacy about her background became increasingly noticeable to veterans who understood combat culture and recognized signs of operational experience that exceeded normal contractor backgrounds and suggested classified service history. Communication Command Officer Lieutenant Colonel James Command Thompson, whose responsibility for overall operations included ensuring appropriate utilization of contractor capabilities and identifying personnel whose skills might enhance operational effectiveness, decided that direct inquiry might reveal information that would explain Sarah's unusual competence and determine appropriate job placement that maximized her apparent expertise. Thompson possessed command experience and operational background that enabled him to recognize exceptional personnel and identify individuals whose capabilities exceeded their current positions, making his interest in Sarah's background both professionally motivated and personally curious about veteran transition challenges that he understood from his own service experience in combat communications community. Martinez, I've observed your communication handling and coordination competence during command operations, and I'm curious about your background and qualifications that prepared you for this level of expertise with tactical communication, Thompson stated during private meeting, his tone reflecting command interest rather than casual inquiry. Your performance suggests experience that exceeds normal contractor capabilities, and your professional bearing indicates background that might be better utilized in advanced positions that require specialized radio knowledge and coordination expertise that could enhance our operational programs. Sarah understood the implications of Lieutenant Colonel Thompson's inquiry, but chose not to reveal classified service that would complicate her contractor status, while potentially triggering security evaluations and medical assessments that could affect her employment and personal privacy regarding combat trauma and psychological treatment that supported her civilian transition recovery. Her decision reflected careful consideration of career stability needs that protected her economic security while maintaining therapeutic routine that had become an essential part of her recovery from operational trauma and adjustment to civilian life that required gradual healing rather than sudden exposure to military scrutiny that might compromise her progress through specialized treatment programs. Colonel, my technical background has prepared me for signal management that supports command operations and mission coordination. Through attention to detail and systematic approach that ensures operational effectiveness, Sarah replied carefully, maintaining respect for his rank while protecting personal privacy. These contractor responsibilities provide meaningful work that utilizes relevant skills while supporting command missions that require professional competence and communication consciousness around life-threatening tactical environments. The incident that would expose Sarah's hidden identity occurred during critical intelligence operation when satellite communication failure left multiple combat units without coordination during enemy contact, creating a situation where her instinctive response to communication emergency revealed specialized capabilities that immediately attracted attention from military personnel familiar with advanced combat techniques and tactical radio coordination procedures learned through classified operational experience. This emergency scenario existed to test facility response capabilities during actual communication crises that could threaten unit lives, while enabling technical personnel to demonstrate coordination techniques that might be required during system failures or equipment breakdowns that could compromise mission safety during intensive operations that pushed communication systems to operational limits in dangerous combat conditions. Emergency Communication Coordinator Master Sergeant Robert Relay Williams was supervising Sarah's participation in crisis response when system failure required immediate tactical radio coordination application, exposing combat capabilities that immediately triggered recognition based on his own operational experience and familiarity with advanced techniques that suggested specialized training recognizable to experienced combat communication personnel. The emergency scenario involved multiple units experiencing communication failure during active engagement with potential casualty situation, requiring rapid frequency coordination, tactical radio management, and mission coordination that tested every aspect of combat communication emergency response while maintaining operational protocols that protected both deployed personnel and command coordination during high-stress battlefield emergency situations. Sarah's response to the communication emergency demonstrated combat capabilities that exceeded normal contractor training, including tactical radio techniques, coordination management skills, and communication emergency protocols that suggested extensive training in combat radio operations and battlefield coordination that characterized combat training rather than civilian communication certification programs. Her emergency performance revealed specialized techniques for maintaining effectiveness during multi-frequency operations, efficient coordination approach procedures, and tactical protocols that indicated training designed for combat situations where communication expertise meant mission success and unit survival during hostile battlefield environments and enemy jamming scenarios. But what truly exposed Sarah's background wasn't just her coordination techniques. It was what happened after the successful mission coordination when she remained at the console for another 3 hours conducting systematic frequency sweeps that no civilian contractor would know, using signal analysis methods that could only be learned through combat training, while demonstrating stress management techniques that suggested extensive experience with traumatic communication conditions during classified operations. When Master Sergeant Williams finally ordered Sarah to step away from communications at 0400 hours, she had maintained perfect radio discipline and coordination effectiveness under extreme stress conditions that should have caused system breakdown. But her operational performance remained flawless due to specialized breathing techniques and mental conditioning that only combat radio operators learned during training designed for extended battlefield operations under enemy fire. Ma'am, those communication techniques and stress management capabilities appear consistent with advanced combat training from specialized military programs, Williams observed with professional recognition, his operational experience enabling him to identify skills that suggested combat training rather than civilian communication certification. These capabilities typically develop through intensive programs that prepare personnel for extended communication operations during combat missions and hostile battlefield coordination scenarios that exceed normal training requirements. Sarah realized that emergency response requirements had exposed classified combat capabilities that she had been concealing for employment reasons. Understanding that her specialized communication skills would trigger questions about her military background and medical retirement that might complicate her contractor status, while drawing unwanted attention to traumatic experiences that required continued private management. The combat capabilities that Master Sergeant Williams discovered represented years of specialized training and specific classified experience that included technical details about forward observer operations, tactical radio procedures, and coordination techniques that had saved lives during isolation scenarios that tested every aspect of her specialized training and personal courage under extreme battlefield duress. Lieutenant Colonel Thompson, summoned to examine the discovered communication capabilities and assess their implications for contractor background verification, immediately recognized the tactical radio techniques as consistent with combat training that suggested extensive classified experience rather than civilian communication certification or normal occupational training that might occur during contractor duties. Master Sergeant Williams, document these capabilities and request immediate verification of this contractor's military service record, Thompson instructed, his command experience recognizing that specialized combat radio skills indicated service background that should have been documented during hiring process. These communication techniques suggest operational training that typically accompanies classified deployments and combat service that requires appropriate recognition and support services for veteran contractors. The verification process that followed Sarah's recognition revealed her actual military service record as decorated Army veteran whose classified deployments had included multiple forward observer operations in hostile battlefield environments, while her medical retirement documentation explained transition from active duty to civilian contractor employment that utilized her communication expertise while supporting her psychological recovery from operational trauma. Military Records Review disclosed extent of her classified service that included forward observer missions, tactical radio operations, and coordination experiences that had earned commendations for valor under extreme battlefield conditions. While medical documentation explained the psychological challenges and combat trauma that had necessitated medical retirement and ongoing specialized trauma counseling services. Lieutenant Colonel Thompson, reviewing Sarah's classified military records and operational experience, realized that his facility had unknowingly employed a decorated combat veteran whose communication expertise and military experience exceeded virtually all active duty personnel and represented exceptional qualifications that deserved recognition and appropriate utilization in advanced coordination positions. His understanding of her situation immediately shifted from administrative curiosity about skilled contractor to command responsibility for supporting combat veteran whose service record demanded respect and whose transition challenges required appropriate accommodation and recognition of her sacrifices for military service and national security missions at the highest classification levels. Ms. Martinez, your military service record shows extensive forward observer operations and communication expertise throughout multiple classified deployment theaters, including missions that earned recognition for extraordinary valor under extreme battlefield conditions, Thompson said during private meeting, his tone reflecting command respect for her service sacrifice. Your contractor file failed to document years of combat service and medical retirement, following operational trauma sustained during classified missions that exemplify military excellence and operational courage that deserves appropriate recognition and support. Sarah's response reflected the dignity of someone whose classified experience had prepared her for recognition while maintaining privacy about medical issues and traumatic memories that had complicated her transition from combat operations to civilian employment that provided stability during challenging adjustment period requiring specialized psychological treatment for classified trauma survivors. Her careful acknowledgement balanced appreciation for his respect with continued need for privacy about classified experiences that required ongoing psychological treatment and personal healing that civilian recognition might complicate despite good intentions from military personnel who understood veteran transition challenges and operational trauma recovery. Colonel, my military service included classified operations and tactical training responsibilities that prepared me for contractor work that supports command missions, Sarah replied respectfully, maintaining dignity while acknowledging his recognition. When this position became available, my combat experience provided relevant background for communication management while allowing continued service to military community in civilian capacity that supports my personal recovery and transition goals. The investigation that followed Sarah's recognition revealed administrative oversight that had failed to document her combat veteran status during contractor hiring process, while her classified experience record explained her exceptional performance and familiarity with communication systems that had exceeded normal contractor capabilities and attracted professional attention from facility personnel. Administrative review disclosed that contractor application process hadn't included adequate verification procedures for combat personnel, creating situation where decorated combat veteran had been hired as general contractor without appropriate recognition of service background that deserved special consideration and might have qualified her for advanced positions that better utilized her expertise. Communications specialist Lisa, whose own operational experience included combat radio and coordination training, approached Sarah with obvious professional respect for military service that represented shared military culture and operational experience that created bonds between veterans regardless of unit affiliation or current employment status in civilian positions. Lisa's response reflected understanding that Sarah's background represented service excellence that transcended normal recognition while acknowledging that contractor work provided meaningful employment that honored military experience through continued service to command mission that prepared current operators for operational deployment and communication challenges. Sarah, your forward observer experience and communication expertise demonstrate continued dedication to military excellence that honors service background while supporting current command mission, Lisa said with genuine respect, her own military background enabling her to appreciate significance of Sarah's service record. Your transition to contractor position while maintaining professional competence honors military tradition and provides invaluable expertise that enhances facility operational capabilities through example of extraordinary service dedication and operational excellence. The demonstration that followed Sarah's recognition became legendary moment for entire facility, illustrating how combat veterans sometimes served in contractor roles while contributing operational experience and communication expertise that enhanced command effectiveness through unique understanding of coordination requirements and battlefield realities that prepared current operators for deployment challenges and tactical scenarios. Military operators learned that Sarah's monitoring services represented more than contractor responsibility, but continued service to military mission that honored her classified experience, while providing meaningful work that supported her transition from active duty to civilian life, that maintained connection to military community and operational purpose that gave meaning to post-service career. Ms. Martinez represents the kind of operational experience and communication expertise that defines military excellence and extraordinary courage that inspires everyone in our command environment. Lieutenant Colonel Thompson announced during facility formation that acknowledged her service without compromising classified details. Her military background and continued competence demonstrate professionalism that enhances our command mission while honoring classified service that exemplifies military values and operational courage under the most extreme battlefield circumstances imaginable. The specialized communication program that Sarah agreed to establish became legacy that enhanced facility tactical knowledge while providing her with meaningful service that honored her classified background by ensuring personnel received training that could prevent casualties during communication operations and coordination procedures that required professional expertise developed through combat operational experience. Her willingness to share communication knowledge without revealing classified operational details created educational opportunities that prepared military personnel for tactical situations where her combat-proven expertise could prove critical during actual operations and coordination challenges that exceeded standard training scenarios and required specialized techniques learned through extreme battlefield circumstances. Her classified communication expertise transformed facility coordination procedures while creating educational opportunities that prepared personnel for operational situations where her military knowledge could prove critical during actual missions and tactical challenges that required technical competence and professional handling that honored military standards and operational excellence. Sarah's influence extended beyond technical instruction to include lessons about professional competence, military bearing, and service dedication that inspired facility personnel to approach their responsibilities with greater appreciation for combat veterans whose expertise enhanced operational effectiveness while honoring sacrifices made during classified service to national security missions. Lieutenant Colonel Thompson, realizing that his assessment of Sarah's capabilities had been based on complete ignorance of her forward observer experience and military service, approached her with obvious command respect and appreciation for service record that represented the highest levels of military valor despite his extensive military experience and combat background. His understanding evolved from viewing her as skilled contractor to recognizing her as combat veteran whose expertise and service sacrifice deserved the highest acknowledgement and whose transition challenges required command support that honored her military background while protecting her civilian employment stability and ongoing psychological treatment. Sarah, I owe you formal recognition for your military service and classified operations that represent military excellence and extraordinary courage that deserves the highest respect, Thompson said during private conversation, his command authority emphasizing profound sincerity of his acknowledgement. Your classified record and communication expertise explain capabilities I never understood, while your professional bearing reflects military values that enhance our facility operations. You've been contributing combat knowledge to our mission while maintaining professionalism that characterizes veterans transitioning to civilian service. Sarah used her recognition to establish veteran contractor support programs that combine combat experience with civilian employment insights, creating assistance opportunities that help transitioning military personnel find meaningful work that honored their service, while providing economic stability during challenging adjustment periods that required community support and understanding from fellow veterans. Her program development reflected understanding that veteran transition required civilian employment that maintained connection to military mission while providing healing opportunities that honored service sacrifice through continued contribution to military community that recognized operational experience and communication expertise developed during classified service to national security missions. The most important lesson from today's recognition and the ceremony that followed, Sarah explained during veteran transition seminars that became standard throughout military contractor programs, is that combat experience and communication expertise continue serving military mission through civilian contractor positions that honor service background while supporting personal transition goals. Whether you're conducting classified operations or maintaining communication monitoring, service excellence continues beyond active duty through professional competence that maintains military standards and operational readiness. The contractor position had provided Sarah with opportunity to heal while processing operational trauma and medical challenges that had ended her military career, demonstrating that combat veterans could contribute effectively in civilian roles while maintaining capabilities and service dedication that exceeded normal employment expectations and inspired others through example of continued excellence despite psychological challenges. Her therapeutic work routine had evolved into a meaningful career that honored her military service while providing economic stability and personal satisfaction that supported her recovery from operational trauma and psychological challenges that required ongoing treatment and community support from military personnel who understood veteran transition difficulties and combat stress management. General Patricia Command Rodriguez, visiting Central Command for operational effectiveness assessment and facility evaluation designed to identify best practices for veteran contractor utilization, had requested tour of command facilities to evaluate support services that enabled mission success. When Lieutenant Colonel Thompson introduced Sarah and explained her combat background that had been recently discovered through crisis communication response demonstration, General Rodriguez's visit represented command-level interest in contractor programs that effectively utilized veteran expertise while supporting transition challenges that affected military readiness and community support for personnel leaving active duty service for civilian employment that maintained connection to military mission and defense community. Ms. Martinez, your forward observer service represents operational excellence and communication expertise that honors military tradition and demonstrates extraordinary service dedication. General Rodriguez stated during facility inspection, her command authority emphasizing significance of Sarah's service record. Your transition to contractor position while maintaining professional competence demonstrates military resilience and provides invaluable expertise that enhances operational effectiveness through combat experience that cannot be replicated through any classroom instruction or simulation training. The General's recognition of Sarah's military service created facility-wide awareness of extraordinary veteran contributions to command mission, while her command acknowledgement of contractor programs validated approaches that honored military service through civilian employment opportunities that utilized operational experience and communication expertise for continued military mission support and operational readiness. Official command recognition of Sarah's military service record provided validation that her civilian transition represented extraordinary model for veteran employment that could be replicated throughout military facilities requiring communication expertise and professional competence that honored classified experience while supporting personal recovery and economic stability for transitioning combat personnel. Years later, when Sarah established comprehensive veteran contractor programs while maintaining facility employment and coordination responsibilities that had supported her recovery, her story continued inspiring personnel who understood that military excellence often belonged to contractors whose service records exceeded their current civilian positions but represented continued dedication to military mission through professional competence and communication expertise. Her civilian career had created lasting impact that extended beyond individual transition to include facility programs that served other veterans seeking meaningful employment that honored their military service while providing economic opportunities and community connection that supported successful adjustment to civilian life and continued contribution to military mission readiness. Her example reminded everyone that at Central Command, as in all military facilities employing veteran contractors, the most extraordinary expertise often belonged to personnel whose military service had been earned through battlefield operations where courage meant protecting fellow soldiers under impossible combat conditions rather than seeking recognition or career advancement that characterized normal military progression. The moment when General Rodriguez recognized her military service had lasted only minutes, but its impact continued for years, demonstrating that military excellence often remained hidden until circumstances revealed capabilities that transformed understanding of veteran dedication and extraordinary sacrifice that continued serving through civilian employment that maintained connection to warrior culture and military values that protected national freedom. Her story became inspiration for other combat veterans struggling with transition challenges, proving that military excellence could continue through civilian contractor positions that honored service background while providing meaningful work that supported recovery from operational trauma and maintained connection to military mission that gave purpose to post-service careers and continued contribution to national security. This story was brought to you by Silent Salute, where we honor America's hidden warriors who continue serving in ways that military communities rarely recognize, until circumstances reveal the extraordinary service backgrounds that make their current contributions possible through communication expertise and professional competence earned during classified operations that shaped their character and capabilities under impossible battlefield circumstances. Before we leave you today, here's our question. Have you ever discovered that someone's communication skills revealed military service that completely changed your understanding of their capabilities and the classified missions they completed during deployment operations that tested every aspect of their specialized training? Have you worked alongside veteran contractors whose professional competence masked combat experience while they served in civilian positions that seemed routine but represented continued service to military mission through communication expertise earned during classified operations that protected national security? Tell us in the comments about moments when military capabilities were revealed and transformed your perspective on someone's service experience and continued commitment to excellence that honors fallen comrades and operational sacrifice through professional competence that exceeds civilian understanding of specialized warfare requirements. And if you believe that our most experienced combat veterans often work without recognition while carrying psychological reminders of battlefield operations that shape their capabilities and dedication to military excellence, hit that subscribe button to support our channel's mission of honoring those whose military courage continues serving through civilian positions that maintain connection to warrior culture and military values that protect freedom through communication superiority. Nobody questions Sarah's communication expertise anymore. Not after General Rodriguez recognized the forward observer service that revealed years of classified operations where her radio competence and operational courage kept fellow soldiers alive during missions that history may never fully record, but whose legacy continues through civilian service that honors military sacrifice while inspiring others toward excellence that transcends recognition and represents true warrior spirit that never retires from service to others in protection of national freedom.